Yeah, what up? It's rated R, you know what I'm talking about? The American Maroon, you understand me? The foundation of Black America, you understand me? Let's get to it. Straight up and down. Now, you know what I'm saying? Shit, a little while ago, I was just chilling, listening to a podcast, you know what I mean? Damon Dash podcast, you know what I'm saying? He got this a network called American New. You know what I mean? American in You. You know what I'm saying? The Damon Dash network and shit. You know what I mean? And this particular show, you know, he was chilling. You know what I mean? He had two black therapists with him. You know what I mean? Just chopping up game and shit. Just chopping it up real shit. About a lot of different things, you know. And in the comments, I read this one comment that said, it went something like, man, I don't know why they treat Dame like they do. Dame is the truth. This was a comment on the video I seen in the comment section. And you know what? That's real. And I'm gonna point out why. From my perspective, why they treat Dame the way they do. You know what I'm saying? Just in the media and online and shit like that right there, you see, I'm gonna take it back to that interview most people done seen. The Breakfast Club interview he did that time, right? Take it back to that. I'm gonna start there. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of people took that interview and a lot of people, you know, were saying this and that about Dame, saying his reactions and shit like that right there. Excuse me. But if you look closely, if you go back at that interview and you got, you know, you one of the handful of people that got that hustle spirit, that ownership spirit, you know what I'm saying? You can see through the bullshit in that interview. For example, if you go back and look at that interview, see, Charlemagne and that motherfucker DJ Envy, right? See, what it is the Illuminati white supremacists don't like that. Let me say that again. The Illuminati elite white supremacists do not like Dame and what he represents. You know what I mean? And what does he represent? A real black man standing for black shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you go back and look at the interview, even right now today at 2023, it's about 5-6 years old, I believe. But if you go back and look at it, if you look closely, Charlemagne now is sort of making fun of Dame. See, if you look real close, man, they making fun of Dame. See, and see, a nigga like Charlemagne, see, I'm 40 years old. A nigga like Charlemagne about my age, maybe a little older. You know goddamn well what Dame has brought to this culture. You know it. You lived through it. Any nigga my age know. When we was teenagers in the late 90s and shit like that right there, man, if you had Rockaware, you were rocking Rockaware and shit, man, you were that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I so much I could say about that era, like the Rockefeller era, man. Like, come on, man. Dame was the brains behind a lot of that shit. They was coming out with clothes, movies. This nigga was doing business, you know what I'm saying, getting Jay-Z on, and you go into the album Reasonable Doubt. You know what I mean? It's 3 niggas in the cover and only one of them rap. You see what I'm saying? You seen when Dame was kicking it, pouring champagne on bras, young. They was young, you know what I mean? Just kicking it, living through their life, but handling business. Giving niggas careers. You know what I'm saying? You talk a lot of them Rockefeller, you talk a lot of them niggas that was on Rockefeller right now, they'll tell you that was probably the best time of their life. They did shit that most niggas will never do. Charlemagne them know that shit. So you have to ask, why were they talking to him like he was just some clown? I'm gonna tell you why. Because Charlemagne them, that shit come from the top. See, Charlemagne them know that they knew and know that the white supremacist elite don't like Dame. They don't want you to give Dame the praise that he deserves because they don't want a lot of Dames coming up in the younger generation. They don't want no guys with his kind of mentality coming up, going in the boardroom at Def Jam and offices, checking people and shit because you own your shit. See, they can't take nothing from you because you self-made, you pay people, you take care of your crew take care of you. That's the mentality they ain't got. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to a lot of stories that get told and shit about a guy like a Damon Dash, and see, some people I know it's people on YouTube, well, it's all Hollywood shit. You know, it's all made up. Okay. But one thing about it, what we know is Hollywood gets stories from real life shit. Men like Damon Dash are out here. You see, with that kind of mentality to look after the culture, to gatekeep the culture. Don't let, how many people do you see in mainstream media look in a white dude's face and tell him, what can you as a white man tell me what black people need? How can you as a white man tell me what black people need? How many black people do you see doing that on mainstream media? Period. And I'll wait. But until you dig that up, shit, Damon Dash been on that type of shit. He been on it. See, this is what I think. And I'm talking about, I'm just coming off the head, man, because I live this shit. I lived through this era, so I'm just coming out the head. If I had notes that could hit certain bullet points and shit, man, I'd really kick ass. But this is what I think. See, you heard, I've been seeing for years online. Oh yeah, you know, shit, Damon Dash, he done fell off. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing good as Jay-Z and all this kind of shit. I don't see, man. When I was younger, living through that era, and then I remember when the Rockefeller split up and all that happened. As I got older and understood more about business and things, like I understand. I believe this is what I believe. This is just my opinion on that shit. I believe, first of all, living through that era, man, Rockefeller was doing so fucking much. Movies, clothes, liquor lines. They was doing so much shit. I had a state property outfit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about you was fly with that shit. They were doing so much. The Illuminati saw that shit. The White Supremacists saw that shit. They had to shut it down. See what I'm saying? This is what I think they did. I think the White Supremacists, the Illuminati White Supremacists stepped to Jay. They stepped to Jay and they was like, hey, yo, Mr. Carter, you can come up here with us and, you know, get your own NBA team and all that thing, but yeah, you gotta leave those guys you started your company with. You gotta let that go. That's what I believe. They stepped to Jay and they told Jay, if you will leave Rockefeller and all that shit, you and Dame Dash and Kareem Biggs, Burt Bill and all that shit, if you step away from them, you can dwell in a circle with us. You see what I'm saying? And truth be told, see, a lot of niggas don't. See, I love Jay-Z as a lyricist. Don't get me wrong. Like as a musician and shit like that, that nigga's that nigga. This ain't what this about though. I'm just talking about the whole presentation of the business spirit, the who had the hustle spirit, and, you know, who did. If you go back to Jay music, he never lied. He never lied to niggas. On Reasonable Doubt, he was on there talking about, like this song called The Evils. The devils, the evils, Illuminati want my mind, soul, in my body. He was telling you on that shit. Like, hey, I'm gonna get all I can. You know what I'm saying? I know they looking. I know they watching. So when I show the white supremacists what I'm worth, and they allow me to get into that circle, I'm gonna go just because I just want it all like that. It ain't cause I'm trying to, you know, it ain't cause I'm trying to be white or none of that shit. I'm traumatized from not having nothing when I was young and shit. This is the shit Jay-Z is telling you in his album. If you a real Jay-Z, if you know Jay-Z's catalog from top to bottom, like niggas like me do, you know that's what he was saying. He was basically just saying, like, hey, I'm traumatized from coming from the hood, 2 or 3 pair of pants to wear, mom's busting the ass, women calling me ugly and shit because I ain't got shit. So whatever I can get, I'm getting it. I don't give a fuck if I got to give up Rockefeller. I don't give a fuck. He had been saying it. You see what I'm saying? If you listen closely to the lyrics, if you really know Jay-Z's catalog, you listen close. That was in '96, I believe. I could be wrong when Reasonable Doubt dropped. You know what I mean? Then fast forward up to one of the last albums he dropped, 444. I think it was. Yeah, it was 444. And he came out with that song, House Nigga, Field Nigga, Still Nigga. Real nigga, still nigga. He letting you know I done got up here high as I could go, and these motherfuckers still treat me like a nigga. See? So I'm saying that to say, Dame knew that anyway. He never wanted to do that shit. Dame was never into that. People talking about, oh, Dame bitter and Dame. Get the fuck out of here. Nigga, wouldn't you be mad if you done built up a motherfucking company and the nigga you built it with just walk away from it? Y'all done built up all this shit. I'm talking about, man, let me tell you something, man. I got some Rockaway shit right now that I still wear. I still feel like that nigga at 40 years old. See, when I was coming up, niggas my age, excuse me, we was teenagers and shit, Fat Farm, Rockaway, FUBU. And looking back, I'm like, damn, like, yo, black culture was really kicking ass at that time. Now, niggas didn't even give a fuck about Versace and all that shit back then. Nigga, Rockaway, if you had on some fly ass Rockaway, you were that nigga. You know what I'm saying? The white supremacists saw all that shit. See what I'm saying? All that shit. Now you look, you know what's funny? Cause now one of the top brands now is Champion. Think about that. It's Champion now. You see a lot of big time rappers now wearing Champion. When I was a teenager, Champion was just a Walmart shirt motherfuckers to throw on to work out in. There was nothing popular about Champion. Nothing. That's funny though that it is now in the 2000s, but back then, see, so I'm saying all that shit to say, they don't like Dame. That's the reason why if he go on certain podcasts and shit, if he do any industry interviews, they gonna downplay him. Because the people in the industry know that their bosses don't like Dame. Excuse me. See, and that's what I applaud a nigga like Dame for. He got his shit set to where he still got a straight life. He good. He take care of his kids. He can be with his kids and still talk shit to people like Liar Cohen, Leor Cohen, and all that shit. And then the Breakfast Club brought that white supremacist on there and asked him about Damon Dash. Well, I don't know who he is. I don't know him. They got pictures of them together and all that kind of shit. But he gonna diss him. See, that dad was right. See, that's why Charlamagne them ain't shit for how they did Dame when they brought him on there. If you look at the Breakfast Club interview, Dame was defending himself from Charlamagne them. They was trying to downplay Dame. You see what I'm saying? Just look closely at that shit. Stop looking at how Dame reacted. Look at how Charlamagne them talk. See, a lot of the people that was looking at the interview, they probably was like younger generation. They didn't live through that generation like we did and know how big them niggas was back then. Like how the culture was straight up based on them. You know what I'm saying? Other than a Master P or something like that, that's a whole nother topic. You know what I mean? That's my nigga too, but that Master P is another entity. I'm talking about a motherfucker like a Damon Dash and shit. Master P's a Damon Dash type of nigga too. Don't get me wrong, but again, that's another topic. You know what I'm saying? They knew each other. They have coincided before, but that's another topic. Again, Charlamagne was wrong. That's the reason why Dame got on their ass. Why he was telling DJ Envy, hey, can't you get fired? You understand what I'm saying? Can't you get fired from this shit? Well, Envy, I love this. I didn't ask you that, motherfucker. I asked you, can you take some money out of this and give it to your kids? Can you pass this shit down to your kids? Everything he was saying to that nigga was straight real. And that's what they get for fucking with him. Straight up. They was picking on him, man. They was trying to talk to him like he was some little nigga. It's like this. Niggas like me know. If you ain't never been in a situation where you paying dues, you giving niggas careers, put niggas on. You ain't done nothing like that. You cannot speak to a nigga like Damon Dash like that. Charlamagne them, especially, I don't know about that Henry motherfucker, but Charlamagne, that nigga know. Nigga, you was a foundation of Black America for fucking South Carolina. At least that's what your character portrays. You know, God, and you my age, you lived through that era, you know you were wrong for talking to Dame like that, nigga. You know you was. Word up. That's why he got on y'all ass in there and was like, man, y'all niggas some suckers. Y'all work for some goddamn body, and y'all, I dare y'all talk to me like that, and y'all work for some motherfucking body. See, that's what Dame was saying. He wasn't dissing people who work and all that kind of shit. That's not what he was talking to, them niggas. That's who he was talking to. But people who didn't understand that or don't have that kind of mentality, they didn't catch that Charlamagne them was trying to make fun of them because they know that the white supremacists want them to do that. That's why when he go on industry interviews, they they don't even want to give him the respect that he deserves. That's the reason why they do that. See, if he go on regular, like he go on independent podcasts, they treat him like the done goddamn Jordan boss. Cause they know he didn't earn that kind of respect. You hear niggas in the industry talk about how they wouldn't even sign to Damon Dash. And he just knew him. And he'll call Damon Dash and be like, man, they trying to come up short on some money, man. Like I'm trying to get a project funded, and they offering me this much money, and it seems like it ain't enough. They say it's niggas that'll say Damon Dash come up and talk to them white folks, go in the room with them white folks, and when they come out, they got triple of what they was trying to offer. That's how and they don't like that. The white supremacists don't like niggas like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they treat Damon Dash the way they do. That's the reason why that the industry throws his name around like he's so fucked up, like he broke and all this kind of shit. No, Jay-Z got a job. Dame give jobs. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference right there. Jay is just in a position with them white folks. Dame never wanted that shit. He never wanted that. He never wanted that. He never wanted that. He wanted to be just the way he is now. Got his own network. If the motherfucker pop, it pop. If it don't, it don't. But it's his. Can't nobody tell him what to do. He ain't gotta have no motherfucking niggas on there with dresses and shit. He ain't gotta do none of that shit. He do whatever he wanna do. And that's the realest shit ever. He can sign people. He can, whatever the fuck he wanna do. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't want to fuck with music no more because he knew the direction music was going in. He knew, that's the reason why he left music, because he knew the direction, he knew what's going on now was coming back then. He just couldn't really speak on it. He just left. After they stepped to Jay and say, hey Jay, if you leave, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, we'll let you do this, we'll let you do that. So Jay got Rock Nation, but Jay don't own Rock Nation. He just the manager. You know what I'm saying? Them white supremacists, he got to answer to them white supremacists still. Dame don't have to do that shit but he don't fuck with music no more. So all I'm saying is, that was a good question that dude had. Real shit. Why they treat Dame like that? That's why. The white supremacists don't like that nigga, man. They never like, I ain't gonna just say him. Any nigga like him, whether you 9 to 5 motherfucker or whatever the fuck you is. If you just got your own spirit about you, respectful, but then they want you to be the kind of motherfucker they can control and talk to in a kind of way and all this kind of shit. They don't like you no way. They ain't gonna like you. So that's the reason why they do Dame the way they do. Word up. And again, man, go back to that goddamn Breakfast Club. And there's so much I could say, but I'm just coming off the head. Go back to that Breakfast Club interview, and you will clearly see that he wasn't disrespecting nobody. He was talking directly to Charlamagne, because they was trying to like talk to him like he was a little nigga or something, like he was a goofy or something. And they know better than that shit. That's why you had to go ahead and scold their asses real quick. Like, man, what the fuck? How dare y'all talk to me like that, and you motherfuckers gotta get up in the morning and go to work, or you can get fired. Can't even pass this shit to your kids. My son is an entrepreneur. What the fuck y'all kids doing? See, that's what he was doing. He wasn't talking to nobody other than them two niggas for trying to talk down on him because they know that the white supremacists don't like him. They trying to please the white supremacists by, yeah, we don't like Dame neither, master.